Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you recall earlier this year, in one of my earlier videos, kind of showing some items that I just kind of picked up, and I said I had some stuff in the mail of kind of what I wanted to start collecting more of in 2026. Well, this is going to be that video, and for 2026, I'm going to start hopefully picking up more original Beatles records from Canada. So I think I'm going to find some and kind of seek out some original records, LPs and 45s, and anything that's cool or Canadian specific for the Beatles. So this update is going to be all records I just got that are going to be from Canada, including a couple of heavy hitters as well, which will be nice to get knocked off the list first. And I still need to pick up a couple more records from the Beatles flag, Japanese flag series, and I won't be stopping that. It's just there's only a few that I need, so I'm kind of just waiting for those just to kind of happen and find. But I do have a record show coming up in a couple weeks, so hopefully I'll get to find a couple of those, and also hopefully see if there's any Canadian records out there for me to pick up. So I also have some Canadian records already, but now just I kind of have all your your classic ones that you kind of want, like the Beatlemania, and then like Twist and Shout, things like that. And I think I have an original Rubber Soul as well, so I might pull those out for maybe another video as a kind of like a part two to this, just to kind of show you what I'll already have. And then for this video, I'm going to show you some recent finds I found online from these are going to be from two sellers. I got a stack of 45s from one seller, and then I got two records from another for LP stuff. So we're going to start off with the 45s here, and first one's going to be 1964. This one's going to be You Can't Do That. B-side to Can't Buy Me Love. And then again, also, most of these records are going to be kind of similar to U.S. releases, but on the rim text there, it's going to have MFD in Canada by Capitol Records of Canada. So again, these are going to be a little bit beat up, but it's okay. And it's also pretty nice to kind of have those Capitol sleeves come alongside it. All right, this one's a little bit in better shape, and this one is going to be We Can Work It Out, backed with Day Tripper. And from what I've kind of seen, I believe all the Canadian 45s, if it comes with a picture sleeve, I believe it gets imported from the U.S. picture sleeves. I could be wrong on that. If someone can confirm that for me, please let me know. The only picture sleeve I think was made in Canada was the 4x4 EP, and that has like the litho in Canada on the side of the cardboard sleeve there. So all these 45s will pretty much just have the Capitol company sleeve with it. But this one's going to be Yellow Submarine, backed up with Eleanor Rigby from '66. And then one of my favorite singles, if not my favorite single, we got Paperback Writer, backed with Rain, also from '66. And there's a couple different variations for Canadian 45s. I think also some on the rim text have Canada in brackets, and I believe that means it's kind of like a reissue, like an original reissue kind of thing. I'll have to do a little bit more research and all that kind of stuff, as I know a good bit about the U.S. stuff. So now I'm kind of excited to learn more about what kind of Canadian variations there are. I'm not necessarily going to pick up and find all the variations. As long as I have one original, that's going to be pretty much happy for me. Okay, off to the LPs. We got two here. I found these on Discogs actually from the same seller who was shipping from Canada, and had two for a really good price. I was kind of surprised. Again, one of them is not in like the greatest shape, but I was willing to spend the money for that one instead of wait to spend it for something 2 times as much. And I'm going to start off with this one, and it is Let It Be. and you're wondering why this one would be an expensive record, well, it's because Canada also released a Let It Be box set. So this is the condition's not the greatest, but it's still here and intact. So there's the back showing that it was made in Canada. So the cardboard sleeve is a little beat up, and the book is not perfect, but it's still alive. And well, maybe a couple pages are about to come out, but that's kind of the way this book was made. So, um, very happy to find an original Canadian Let It Be box set for a decent price, even though it's not in the greatest shape. Let me take out the record here, show you the label, or the back of the cover. So it has a green label there for Canada, compared to the US one that has a red label. The US one just came out with a gatefold and not a box set, but Canada went full out for the box set. So there is the label. And that didn't come with a tray, but that's okay. Again, this was kind of one of the Canadian LPs for me that was like probably a must get kind of thing, and I found it for a pretty cheap price. And if I ever find another one that's in better shape for a good price, I might upgrade, but probably not. And then also, I had a question for those Let It Be box sets. If anyone has them, how do you store them? What's the best way to store them? Because I feel like if you put it in with the rest, it'll kind of get squished. So right now, I kind of have them on a more vertical shelf, kind of by itself, even though I kind of like to have with the collection. But if there's an easy way to store those, please let me know. I got a big kind of outer sleeve baggie to keep it in, and I put the book inside the box and then have the record outside the box. I don't know. Anyway, this one is also a Canadian specific release that I was kind of really wanting to find. It's also getting a little pricey, but since this one had a little ringware, he had it for a pretty cheap price, so I got both of these from the same seller, and I was really happy about it. And that is the Beatles Love Songs. And if you know this release, you know what's coming up next after I take out the record sleeve. And that means that this one is on the kind of gold yellow vinyl, so that looks really nice. And obviously the Sgt. Pepper that came out with the kind of gray purplish marbling, it's kind of a Canadian specific release as well. So this is kind of a similar on the same lines as that release. And this one came out in 1977 on the yellow vinyl. And it still kind of has the textured cover there. And this was also shown on my Valentine's Day special on Records to Play on Valentine's Day. And you can see why I waited to show this one for that, because again, it goes with the Canadian video today. So it does come with the booklet, which is nice to have, and then the two inner sleeves are pretty much the same in every other copy. There you have it. And again, we'll show the vinyl record one more time because it looks really nice. So there you have it. That would be kind of the first Canadian update of this kind of the year, I guess. And so I'm gonna be looking forward to finding more Canadian records. If there's anything else that's pretty cool, Canadian wise, Beatle wise, I'm not going to really expand into the solo stuff. I'm just going to stick with the Beatles records. And please let me know if there's anything really cool that I've kind of missed. Again, I'm going to try to find some Canadian specific releases, like the one with the candles on it. I don't know why the title of that's kind of can't remember that one right now, but it's okay. But yeah, hopefully at this upcoming record show in kind of early March, I'll pick up some more stuff. And then stay tuned for kind of a part 2 for Canadian records I already had, and I'll kind of show those within the next couple weeks or so. So hope you enjoyed the new Canadian series, and then stay tuned for more. Thanks.